Okay, we'll start with this. More on Katie Taylor's imminent retirement fight against Flora Pilli that's set to be finalized for Croke Park on September 5th. Taylor, 25-1 with 6 knockouts, will have her 27th and likely her final bout of her decorated career against Frances Pilli, 12-0 with 2 KOs, at her dream venue in front of a potential 82,000 fans in Ireland. Taylor's promotional team, Matchroom Boxing, declined to comment when approached by ProBoxingFans.com, but confirmed on Wednesday a press conference will take place at Croke Park on Friday, all but giving it away that the fight is done, they're just waiting to announce it. No words, see you Friday, Matchroom chairman Eddie Hearn posted on Insta. With that, all of these younger fighters, younger champions, looking to make a name for themselves by fighting the likes of a Katie Taylor, can stop throwing her name around as an excuse not to fight each other, because she's all but out of here. We know who she's fighting. Taylor, who will go down as one of the greatest Irish athletes of all time, and one of the greatest women boxers of all time, retained her undisputed super lightweight titles with a third victory over Amanda Serrano last July in New York. The 39-year-old Bray native, who previously reigned as the undisputed lightweight champion, was named champion in recess by the World Boxing Council in September, with Sandy Ryan claiming the vacant belt in February. On Monday, though, the WBC revealed that Ryan was placed in recess after becoming pregnant, with the vacant title now on the line for Taylor's swan song. The WBC congratulates Sandy Ryan on her pregnancy and wishes her all the best. As a champion in recess, she will always have the support of the World Boxing Council during this process. The vacant WBC super lightweight title will be on the line when Katie Taylor faces Flora Pilli. The World Boxing Council, in effect, all but giving it away who Katie Taylor would be fighting in her final fight and why. All it's going to take is for Eddie Hearn to make it official. Taylor, who avenged her only professional loss to Chantel Cameron in 2023, will become a 2-time undisputed super lightweight champion with a win over Pilli. The French woman previously held the EBU super lightweight title and won the vacant IBO with a majority decision win over Jelena Janicevic in December in France. The 28-year-old is undefeated in 12 professional starts with 2 knockouts. You're not going to see an outpouring of sympathy for Chantel Cameron, who's been campaigning vigorously for that third fight with Katie Taylor, on the premise that she's been really fucking annoying about it. There absolutely is a precedent for a third fight between them. Chantel won the first one, Katie won the second, so there is a need for a tiebreaker, but she's been so annoying about it. You can see why Katie Taylor doesn't want to give her the satisfaction, and I don't expect many people to hold a grudge over it, so she's fighting Flora Pilli instead, and I have since had a look at her. As I suspected, she is a solid EBU level fighter, because that's where she's been fighting so far at European level. This will be her first foray against anybody that is world level. Somewhat of a mid-range to inside fighter. Decent physical dimensions for a super lightweight. She's not too small, not too big. Good countering ability. And good movement, navigating the ring. Good enough at least at European level. This will be a big step up in competition for her, fighting Katie Taylor, who the night of will have been out for a little over a year's time. From the looks of her, you get the sense the contest will be decided by accuracy and speed, mid-range to inside. Who's better in the pocket? And there are very few fighters in the sport of women's boxing that are as effective as Katie Taylor in the pocket, mid-range to inside. Even at 39 years old, she's got some of the fastest hands in the industry. Faster, at least, I think, than Flora Pilli, even at this age. That's where the fight will be fought. That's where the contest will be won, I think, for Katie Taylor. Those rapid-fire combinations deep in the pocket, they will fluster Flora Pilli. More speed and more activity than what she's used to at the level in which she's fought. Better footwork, too. Oh, Katie Taylor's really bouncy. In and out of striking distance, throwing combinations while she does it. So I'm not too concerned about Katie being out for about a year. I don't really think it's going to bother her. It being her swan song, she's going to be up for it. And she's going to want to put on a show for the potential 82,000 fans that might show up. This is going to be a big card. September is going to be a big month. Canelo's coming back. Ryan Garcia's fighting Benn. And of course, Katie Taylor is bowing out. You wonder who's going to be on that undercard. It creates an opportunity for Matchroom to employ some of their other female fighters. Maybe they have Shannon Ryan fight Irma Garcia on that undercard. Maybe they get a slot for Sky Nicholson. And of course, I expect them to enlist the aid of some local Irish fighters to help move some of those tickets. We'll talk more about the fight as the fight date approaches.
The WBC at the convention made Conor Benn mandatory for Ryan Garcia. And then Conor Benn took another fight. So that got in a little in the way. Today, Conor Benn is ranked number 1. And my understanding, to be very clear, at this moment today, June 1st, there is 2 ways of understanding SUFA. One, SUFA as a league that cannot exist until the law is changed. So at this moment, there's no league.
Okay.
SUFA as a boxing promoter. If they have signed fighters, if a SUFA promoted fighter is to fight for the WBC title, regardless if SUFA is promoting or any other promoter is the promoter of the fight, they have to comply with the WBC rules and regulations, whichever they are. So it's very unfortunate how it has been taken publicly as direct attacks to the WBC and myself from SUFA and TKO personnel or owners or partners. But as you say, you have to have thick skin. If someone is going to promote a WBC fight, they have to comply with the rules, and there's no issue.
So by your standards, that fight can take place.
Yes.
We all know why the WBC made the decision to block Opetaia versus Mikaelian from happening. It's because of who Jai Opetaia's promoter is. But he's got the same promoter as Conor Benn. So why are they okay with Conor Benn fighting for one of their titles and not Jai? Well, there are a few noticeable differences between one fight and the other. The commercial value of the fights being the most important one, at least important to the World Boxing Council, one fight is noticeably bigger than the other. Commercially, Opetaia versus Mikaelian. Zuffa was going to pay Noel Mikaelian something substantial to voluntarily defend his title against Jai Opetaia, though generally, it's not as big a fight as Garcia versus Benn. Not commercially. On an international stage, you have all of Ryan Garcia's teens and tween fans, all of those little homosexuals. His supporters. And on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, you have what remains of Conor Benn's fan base. And his haters, too, because they're gonna tune in also. It's a bigger fight, bigger commercially, so the World Boxing Council is not gonna shortchange themselves out of the money they could make sanctioning this big fight, where they are willing to sacrifice Opetaia versus Mikaelian. Yet another reason they might be more accepting of one fight than the other is Conor Benn is not a threat to their champion the same way Jai Opetaia is. Conor Benn is widely perceived as being the underdog going into the Garcia fight based on how he just looked with Regis Prograis, and that he hasn't actually fought at this weight in something like 3 or 4 years. So if he can get there, he's probably going to be drained. So he's probably going to get knocked out. He's not a threat to their champion, but Jai Opetaia is. It's not even Noel Mikaelian they're looking to protect, it's actually David. Noel Mikaelian is to the cruiserweight division what Mario Barrios was to the welterweight division. He's a champion who doubles as a paperweight, a placeholder, until some more popular fighter comes along and they can put the title in his hands. In this instance, well, that's David. David is, at least in this part of the world, more popular than Jai Opetaia, and certainly more popular than Noel Mikaelian. So they would prefer to put the title in his hands instead of letting it go to Jai, because if it goes to Jai, who's gonna win it from him? Who in the cruiserweight division could you confidently pick against Jai Opetaia? It would also force David into a situation to where he kind of has to deal with him, because he's talking this undisputed talk, wants to win all the belts. Well, if Jai Opetaia gets one, then you have to go see him. Rather than let that happen, they blocked Jai Opetaia's fight by ordering David Benavidez's fight. So you see the differences, that Garcia versus Benn is bigger commercially than Opetaia versus Mikaelian, and Benn is not the threat to their champion that Jai Opataya is. Over to Garcia versus Benn, because people have been wondering, where are we with this fight? Is it really gonna happen? Mauricio has all but confirmed that it's going to, tentatively tabbed for the month of September, which is going to be a big month. Canelo's fighting that month, Katie is fighting that month, and this fight is supposed to happen that month. Ryan is going to knock him out. I don't like either guy all that much, I'm just calling a spade and evaluating the fight. Ryan Garcia is not drained, emaciated as a welterweight. Conor Benn, he might be. He's spent the last 3 going on 4 years fighting above welterweight to now drop down. Even if he can make it there, he may lose something on the way down. His speed, his sharpness, his explosivity, his punch resistance. It's a big part of the reason I've been telling you David's not coming back down. He's not coming from cruiser back down to light heavy. So then why is Conor doing it? Because Conor doesn't have much of a choice. He never had the physical dimensions to fully campaign as a middle or a junior middle. At junior middle, they'd eat him alive. Who's he gonna beat there? Fundora, Zayas, Boots, Murtazaliev, any one of those guys. They put his dick in the dirt. You fucking bitch. Josh Kelly outboxes him. You just saw how he looked with Regis Pagarius, a 140-pound fighter who was in his late 30s. If that's how he looked with him, how would he look with them? So if you're wondering, why is he putting his body through this? Why is he draining himself to make welterweight? He doesn't have much of a choice. And for what they're paying him to do it, this fight offers more of a financial incentive for young Conroy than any of those fights would. This is a big commercial fight. It's gotta be, because it's bringing Dana White and Oscar De La Hoya to the table to do a fight with each other. In so many words, that's what it is. Ryan's still with Golden Boy. Connor's now with Zuffa. Oscar and Dana hate each other, so for those two guys to end up doing a fight with each other involving their flagship fighters, it must be big. That would explain why Conor Benn is doing this. Over to the Zuffa card this weekend. Chris Billam-Smith says Ryan Rozicki, he has been hurt before.
Yeah, but so have you.
The former WBO champion pointed to past moments of vulnerability and believes he can hand Rozicki his first stoppage defeat. Chris Billam-Smith believes Ryan Rozicki's reputation for relentless pressure overlooks moments when he has been badly hurt in the ring. Ahead of Saturday's Bournemouth showdown, the former WBO champion said he can become the first fighter to stop the Canadian contender. Every fight I go into, I want to do the best job on someone and a better job than anyone else has done. He's been hurt in the past, said Billam-Smith to Sky Sports Boxing. The bell went at the end of the first against Oscar Rivas, and that probably saved him from a knockdown and maybe even a stoppage if there had been 30 seconds left, but there wasn't. He got through it, and he rumbled on, does what he does. I think I can get it done inside.
Sort of giving the game plan away in saying that.
Oh yeah, it is true. I saw the Oscar Rivas fight. That was my first time seeing Ryan Rozicki in action. And that fight was some years ago. I haven't actually seen anybody hurt him since then.
But Oscar definitely did.
The thing about Oscar is, Oscar's a fucking heavyweight. Up until that point, he was fighting as a heavyweight, so he packs heavyweight power. That Ryan Rozicki was able to take his best and not go down and not go out, that counts towards his durability, not against it.
That was for the inaugural WBC Bridgerweight title. That's what they were fighting for. And up until that point, Oscar was a fucking heavyweight. So what Ryan showed us in that fight is he can hold a shot, even if it's from a heavyweight.
The comments came after an intense face-off between the two fighters in Bournemouth Seafront earlier this week. Rozicki has made no secret of his approach for Saturday's fight, repeatedly stating that he does not expect to leave the judges with any role in deciding the outcome. Hopefully shorter. I'm very confident, said Rozicki. We're going to try to not take as much damage while we're going for the knockout. If it does go to points, I lose. I'm not getting a points decision here. We all know that. So it's a knockout or get knocked out.
It's not a secret that Chris Billam-Smith is going to have home field advantage. The reason they did the fight there is because commercially, Chris sells.
Billam-Smith dismissed those remarks as something he has heard many times before from visiting opponents at the Bournemouth International Center. I've heard people say it. It's irrelevant come fight night, said Billam-Smith. I've had plenty of people in the past think exactly the same thing and fully believe the same thing, especially people that have come here to the BIC. They've thought they're coming in here and are going to do a number on me, so I can do what I always do here, and that's win. Saturday's fight headlines Zuffa Boxing's first event in the UK, with Billam-Smith aiming to restart his pursuit of another world title opportunity. Though having signed to Zuffa, will he actually get it?
Will he make it past Ryan?
So we know that Chris Billam-Smith has certain advantages going into this fight, home field advantage being the most obvious one. But he also has the edge in experience. You could confidently say that Chris Billam-Smith more consistently has been in there with better fighters than Ryan has been in there with. The best guy that Ryan ever fought was Oscar Rivas.
And that's a fight that he lost.
Before he fights Oscar Rivas and after he fights Oscar Rivas, he's had his fill of jobbers and no-hopers, and nothing against that. But Chris, win or lose, he's been in there with Zerto, he's been in there with Lawrence Okoli,
Brendan Glanton.
Richard Riakporhe 2 times.
I mean, you could also say that Ryan Rozicki would not be the first big puncher that Chris Billam-Smith would have shared the ring with. So the edge and experience, it's got to go to Chris. And I do think it's the way that Ryan says. If it goes to the cards, they won't let him win a decision over there. I think the most they would let him walk away with is a draw.
He's 31 years old, 4 years younger than Chris Billam-Smith. An inch shorter, but he makes up for it in 2 extra inches of wingspan, of reach.
He's got longer arms.
I think punch for punch, he packs a bigger punch than Chris Billam-Smith. I think that Ryan is a more concussive puncher than Chris, but Chris has got a chin.
So does Ryan.
What might separate them is the corner situation. I think, by and large, Chris Billam-Smith has the stronger corner. Unless I'm mistaken, he's still with Shane McGuigan!
Not only one of the best trainers in the whole of the United Kingdom, but I think one of the best trainers in the sport.
So then what is Shane McGuigan's plan for his man, Chris Billam-Smith, to beat the hard-punching Canadian?
Catch and counter.
Chris sort of gave it away in the build-up. He told Ryan he's not going to circle away, he's not going to run from him, and the example that he just gave about Oscar Rivas hurting Ryan
Sort of gave it away that he's not going to run from him. He'll engage him in the pocket, but he'll catch and counter when he does it. He's not just going to go balls to the wall, swinging for the fences, leaving himself wide open to be hit. He's going to tighten up those elbows, tighten up that guard, catch and counter!
Catch and shoot! It'll be the second weekend in a row that a Canadian would have had to travel to the shores of the United Kingdom to face a Brit. Last weekend, the Brit won. Is the Brit going to win this time?
And what was the Adam Azim versus Steve Claggett fight, where Steve Claggett got packed up in 2 rounds?
Is Chris Billam-Smith going to pack up Ryan? I just don't know that Chris punches that hard. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with Chris Billam-Smith conservatively to win a points decision. There could be some scary moments in the fight where Ryan hurts him, but I don't know that I can trust Ryan to finish him. If he does, then great.
But I'm going to play it safe on this one, and I'm going to go with Chris on points.